Hello my loves, and welcome back to another reading, or hi, hello if this is the first time you've come around. So just up front, I'll just remind you that if something isn't resonating for you in this message, or any message really that you receive, leave it behind. Leave it behind for whoever it is that it does resonate for, okay? I do have my window open while I'm doing this, so you will probably hear some cars occasionally, like right now. Also, I have had to restart this 3 times now. Let's see. We'll see if we'll just see. Let's get into the cards. What message do you have for us today, Spirit? All right, I'm just being told to stop searching for more cards right now. I mean, this is a very simple message in and of itself. It is time for rest. It is still okay, I will say that as well. It is still okay to continue resting, even if you feel like you have been resting for a long time. The world has not been an easy place to live within, and that on top of, you know, any personal things happening in your life, it's going to take a while. When we have dealt with some pretty harrowing things, it takes our minds and our bodies time to recuperate from that. The rest that we need in order to fully recuperate, and also rest from, rest from being a busybody as well, so that you also have, you know, waking hours to process what you have been through. I'm seeing this also as, immediately I picked up on the swords here. So this to me is also leading into time to rest in order to come to a decision about something, so that we can sort of alchemize what we have been through, process it, turn it into whatever is going to help us in the future, in order to come to get out of this space of indecision about where the path is going, where the path is leading. I'm getting from the Lovers actually that this decision might also be, we need to rest here in order to see that this decision that we think we need to make actually doesn't need to be either or one or the other. Ooh, I'm having a lot of it's a hard speaking tonight, so throat chakra things, being able to express ourselves may be difficult right now. The Lovers here is showing us that it can be both. We can combine them both together. Okay, here it is. Here's the message with this. The things that we have been through, we don't have to just toss them away in order to move on, in order to find the path forward. There is a path where we allow these things to not control us going forward. We're holding each other here in love, in gentleness, in understanding of each other, of these different facets, you know, bringing the different parts of us together. Yes. I'm seeing, so with this sort of mental, whatever turmoil has happened through this, or it honestly is still happening, because again, the world is not an easy place to be in. We may not be out of this. We need to be able to accept these bits of ourselves that maybe, I mean, both of these are both swords here, right? Accept both of these things into ourselves that might seem like they are harmful, and they can be in the wrong hands, but with gentleness with ourselves, with understanding, with love and care, we can get to this new place where we are able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? By integrating these things here, these ideas of what we should be and what we should be doing in the world, integrating them into us and allowing them to have their space within us, although not being the be-all end-all idea that moves us and drives us forward, we can come to a freer, freer sort of aspect of ourselves, not aspect, a freer whole. Like I'm getting like a new sort of person, but not new. This is drawing on the waters, you know, Page of Cups here, drawing on the waters of all that flows within us in order to move forward in a different way. Hang on a second, my kitty's being a little dingus. This leg here coming out is just giving me the movement forward that is needed through sort of understanding ourselves in this new light of, hey, everything has a place. We experience so many things and they are a part of us. There's no denying that they are a part of us. So it allows us to be freer, to feel kind of renewed again. And that way we can move forward lighter. Ooh. And we do this and we come to this stability. This is new house energy. This is happiness. This is a very strong foundation of being able to, again, alchemize, you know, these mental things, the way that we are viewing the world and experiencing the world right now and how it is affecting us, but bringing it together and understanding that these parts of us are valid and they need their space, and we can't just throw anything behind. We come to this place where it becomes so much easier to get to home, to get to this wonderful home that is full of abundance, that is full of passion and happiness and joy. I'm also picking up on marriage, but in the way of becoming married to all of ourselves here. And here we become completely married to all of the pieces of us. here we are, bringing, understanding those that inner world, but also spirit as well, that allows us to this allows us to understand the inner workings of ourselves so that we can, I mean, we don't necessarily have to be doing it for community, but guiding even just ourselves forward with our own inner understanding and understanding what it is that can come through us by accepting all these bits of us and putting that into the world. And I'm really picking up on her wings here. It feels like flying when we are able to do this. It feels like effortless movement through the world when we are able to understand ourselves and our interactions with spirit and the world around us, that we then know what our path forward is. I'm seeing this as a path and also a download, but this, you know, if this were to be brought forward so that she can see forward and see the path going forward. Again, victory from this, victory from this. You're sitting on your flowers, your laurels. Very much. I'm not getting community as much in this message. This is about the self. It's coming back to the self, truly understanding the self through the experiences that we have had, through the emotional and psychological experiences that we have had by living in this world. We come back to ourselves victorious because now we understand ourselves more and we are able to see and honor and recognize all the parts of us that are passionate here, that will continue driving us forward. Seven of Swords. And this, coming back to the swords right now, this person, this card in particular in this deck, and this is the When Women Had Wings deck, she gives me mischief. She gives me, but mischief in the way of somebody sabotaging something in order for the greater good to occur for both sides of any conflict. You know, she's taking away a lot of weapons from the enemy side. And that means that less people are going to be harmed because of her actions. Because it is likely, and what I'm getting from this card, the story is that her side doesn't necessarily want to fight. They don't necessarily want to risk their lives, you know, and in turn, it will also save the enemy's lives as well. So by this coming up in this particular reading about our deeper selves and our deeper understanding, this is understanding what swords here that have caused us issues, you know, these decisions. This is just taking them and being like, you know what, these ones don't mean anything. We can work, you know, on dealing with these ones here. But these here, they don't hold meaning anymore. So why are they still, you know, why not just put them somewhere else where they can no longer do harm? Three of Wands. With this blue here, this always pings throat chakra for me. I mean, this card is joy. You know, we're leading up to this celebration here of this new house or a new marriage. This is joy. This is the expression of it, of the passion that joy can bring up. These, you know, these three tops of these wands are hearts. It's just a celebration of understanding ourselves, of understanding the way that we speak to ourselves inside our own heads, the way we communicate with ourselves in our own heads. And we've been able to come to a better understanding of how to do that by alchemizing all of this together, by alchemizing all of these painful things, but also all of these joyful things, and coming to a greater understanding of what it is that we need in order to speak to ourselves, but also what we need to put out into the world that also connects to others' sense of joy and happiness, and perhaps also sort of, I'm really having a hard time with words tonight, my friends. When we speak to each other, the way we speak to each other can determine on whether or not we can connect with other people and that they can understand us and sort of see our own situations in themselves. So it's that kind of vibe. When we are able to communicate well with ourselves, we are also able to communicate well with others and celebrate. Oh my goodness. Are you for real right now, ma'am? Come on, get down. Wow, these cats tonight. Okay. Ooh. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, you know, there is still more work to do here. I don't think this kind of inner work is ever done. It is something that we do until we pass on, you know, and I also think our spirits likely also process and alchemize all the things that happen to us in every life that we come to, wherever, to be alive, to be in physical form, to experience a life in physical form. But we gain so much from it. There's so much to abundance to be had from understanding ourselves. And I'm getting here third eye, well, not crown chakra, no, definitely more third eye, just understanding, bird's eye view. Understanding that the work that we put in results in the abundance that we gain from that work. And boy, have we done a lot of work. And I just want to emphasize again, because my eye's being drawn to it, that it's okay to rest when you need to. It is okay to continue resting, even though you may have been already resting for what feels like too long. You're allowed to rest. You know, we're told we're not allowed to rest. We must always be productive, but that's just a huge lie to make certain people richer in the world, but not us, you know. But here, by doing this inner work, we ourselves are gaining the abundance and the prosperity and the richness from that. And then that can be shared. The Pentacles always, to me, especially the later ones, always evoke just sharing to me. So the better we know ourselves, and the better we, I mean, going back to this communication here too, right? The better we know ourselves, the better we speak to our inner selves and understand ourselves, and therefore also understand others, the more we are of benefit and we can share that with the world. The more we can share that skill, or the skills that we have with the world, through doing all this work that we've done. Ooh. I was just speaking with my partner tonight about enduring hard situations, hard things. But here, I love this. I love this with this whole entire message. To continue enduring through this, what feels like a slog. This is a lot of work here. This is a lot of wands to be holding and carrying and continue to be carrying. But through enduring and getting through this, we come to this place. And I'm very much seeing the third eye connection and the inner understanding of ourselves, that we are able to ascend, because we come from embracing different parts of ourselves and seeing them as separate, to coming to this place where that has all become one within her, within us. And through that, through this very hard work of getting through, our current society doesn't really want us to do a lot of self-reflection, or looking within, or spending time just with ourselves and understanding ourselves, because we're harder to exploit that way. But when we do that, again, with the abundance of all these passions, all of these tools that we have in order to create the magic that we have in the world. And yes, it is a heavy burden to do that inner work, but it is so powerful and potent, and gives us the ability to put our passions into action, put our passions into the world. And therefore help to inspire others to also do this hard work, so that we can break free. So that we can get to this place where we understand, individually we must come together with all the pieces of ourselves. But collectively, we also need to come together as well, celebrating individuality, of course, not trying to erase anybody, but understanding that we are, on this earth, we are like a multi-celled organism. We are an ecosystem with many parts that move together. All right. One final card, Spirit. Eight of Swords. If we allow ourselves to be bogged down by this, not even this, it's if we allow ourselves to be bogged down by it's having all of these truths, these swords of truth, you know, that are around us, of the things that we have experienced, of the things that we have experienced mentally, you know, just the everyday things that happen. Again, I am having such a hard time speaking tonight and forming thoughts. So take that as a sort of understanding that it is hard to communicate and be yourself in a world where you don't, if you don't acknowledge all of these truths about yourself. And if we know what these truths are about ourselves, then we can understand that they don't hold us back. We are only imagining that they are holding us back. And I'm very much seeing a reflection of her in Judgment here. Just remember, as difficult as it can be to let go of things, to allow some of these things to be put aside, we are not tied to these are ribbons, and these aren't even tied around any of these swords. They aren't even tied around her. And she has wings. She has wings to fly, to be up in that sky, moving around, because she knows herself so intimately. She knows the weight of her body and how much force she needs to put, you know, through those wings in order to soar and be everything that she is, which is greater than sitting here and feeling small and feeling trapped by this. Okay. Hopefully in the next reading I will be able to speak a little bit more coherently. I don't know, without so much starting and stopping. But I do love this message. This is really lovely. Something for me to think about as well for myself, because as usual, these readings do tend to also very much resonate with me. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope to see you next time.